right here. Share your screen. Oh, you can share your screen. But does it work? Okay. Hello. It has been a minute since I've been live on this channel, but welcome to Leo season. Today, the sun has shifted into Leo, and I wanted to go live today to discuss how you can use the next 4 weeks of Leo season to step into your new identity. Okay. We also have Mercury in the sign of Leo as well, retrograding currently, and then on the 24th we'll have the new moon in Leo. Okay, and so we have a lot of energy that's going to be in Leo for the next 4 weeks, and so yeah, let's jump into it. But real quick, if you are new to me or to the channel, my name is Katrice, and I am the Natal Chart Navigator, and I help divorced women to I teach them how to use their natal charts in order to help them to rebuild their lives after divorce. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's jump into it. I'm not going to be long, but let's talk about Leo energy. Okay. So Leo energy, it is ruled by the sun. Okay. So it spans from now. Leo season is from today, the 22nd, until August 22nd. Okay. And this time of the year is what I call the party, right? Because if you know anybody who has strong Leo energy, they truly are the life of the party, and they always shine and stand out. Um, Leo energy is ruled by the sun, and it is fixed energy, meaning fixed energy is um, when you look at the season, it's the energy in between. Okay, so you have Cancer is cardinal energy. Cardinal energy begins the season. It's a initiatory energy, and then you have Leo energy, which is a more grounded energy. And so whatever you start in Cancer season, when you get to Leo season, you really hone in on what it is that you started during Cancer season. Okay, it is fire energy, so fire energy is bold. Okay, and it is a masculine energy. Okay, now some key words for Leo is it's a very passionate energy. It's very creative and generous and lovable. It's also very fun loving, loves to have fun. And it's also very charismatic and a rare regal energy. But it can also be very dramatic, can be self-centered, but also very enthusiastic. Okay. And so when you look at Leo energy, when you're looking in your chart, you want to look and see where you have Leo in your chart. Okay. So I'm going to go through the houses just to kind of give you, how you can utilize this energy based on the house that you have Leo in. Okay. So if you have Leo in the first house, that means you are a Leo rising. I am a Leo rising. And so the first house is the house of self. Okay. And so this is it's your personality and your persona. It's your physical body and your appearance. It also corresponds to your bodily health, your outlook on life, and how you navigate reality. Okay. And so when the sun is in the first house, this is a spotlight on you. Okay. And so this is you how do you want to put yourself out in the world? How do you want to reinvent yourself? Okay, what is it that you want to show the world? When the sun was in Cancer, if you're a Leo rising, that means that the sun was in your 12th house. And so it may have been a whole lot of introspection, a whole lot of how you are wanting, thinking about how you're wanting to change yourself, how you're wanting to show up in the world. And so now that the sun has shifted into the first house, now it's like, okay, game on. I'm going to show the world, this is who I am. This is how I want the world to experience me. Okay. Um, Now, when you moving on to the second house, if you have Leo in the second house is the house of finances. So it's your livelihood, your earnings, your savings, and your material possessions. It's also your attitude towards money and your physical security. And so having the sun here is going to shine a spotlight on, how is it that you want to earn money or how you earn money. You may decide that you want to change how you make money. You may decide you want to get a new job, or you want to actually start that business that you've been thinking and contemplating about. Now, you also have to keep in mind that we do have Mercury retrograde right now. So if your natal Mercury is retrograde and you are wanting to start a business, or you're wanting to make any type of changes, now is the perfect time for you to do so. If your Mercury is not retrograde, not saying that you shouldn't make the changes, this would be a time to kind of, really assess, weigh the pros and the cons, and see, okay, if I make this change, how will it affect me? How it'll affect my finances, really hone in on what it is that you want to do, so that when Mercury moves direct, August 11th, then you can go ahead and you can make those changes. Okay. So Mercury retrogrades are not something to fear. If you have your Mercury, it's a natal, your natal Mercury is retrograde, then this is go time for us. I'm a natal, Mercury retrograde. If your Mercury is not in retrograde, okay, then this is a time for you to reassess what you're going to do, so that when Mercury goes direct, it's go time for you. Okay. All right. So moving on to the third house. Third house is the house of siblings. It's also your extended family. So this would be aunts, uncles, cousins, your community, your neighborhood, short distance travel, early education, basic skills. And so for you in this, you may be deciding if, shining a light on, do you want to, move, or do you want to, make some changes when it comes to your living situation, your neighborhood. This could also be a time to where you might decide that, you're going to get a new car. You may need a new car. So you might decide, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get a new car, because the third house covers short distance travel. So cars, buses, public transportation, and your commute. So you might use this time to get a new car. Also, if there's any type of issues within your family, like with your extended family, so like your brother, sister, aunts, uncles, cousins, things like that, this would be a great time to communicate those issues, and hash that stuff out and get everything clear. Now, you also want to, this is a great time to do that because Mercury is in retrograde. So it kind of gives you that time to kind of re-look at what brought you and what got you to this place with your family member. If there is any type of issues with family, what got you to this place, and how you can, hash that out, how you can fix it, so that, going forward when Mercury moves direct, everything is all hashed out and you guys can move on with your relationship. Okay. All right, moving on to the fourth house. Fourth house is the house of the family. So this is your parents, your ancestors, your roots, your home, your property, your real estate. Um, and it's also your retirement. Okay, so if you are to a place where you are nearing retirement, you this would be a time where you start thinking about retirement. What do you want to do with your retirement? Also, this is home, property, real estate. So you may decide that you want to sell your home. Um, if you have your home for sale, this would be a good time. You may actually, the sale might actually go through. You might actually sell your home. If you are, you also will want to review. This may be a time to review. If you have your home for sale and you may decide, maybe I want to, up the price for what I want to sell it for. If you feel like it has more value, there may be something you want to revise about the offer of your home. And so this would be a good time for that. Fifth house is the house of children, love affairs, sex, your passions, creative expression, entrepreneurship, entertainment. So if you are an entrepreneur, then the fifth house is shining a spotlight on your entrepreneurs, on you wanting to, you may want to make some changes in your business. You may want to expand your business, pick up a new service, or you may decide that you want to go and start your business. Or you may not want to, you may just want to do a side hustle. You might want to get a little side hustle going. Um, Also, this is a time, this is that what I call the house of fun. So, you may be going out on a lot of dates, not really looking for anything serious, but just to have fun. This will be a time for you to really hang out with friends and, just enjoy life. If you have the Leo on the fifth house. Okay. You might be going out to a lot of different restaurants and things like that, just really having fun during this season. Okay. Now, if you have Leo on the sixth house is the house of health. Okay. And so this is nutrition, exercise, your health routines. This is also the house of your daily habits, your service. If you are with your job, if you have employees, this is also the house of pets. You may decide to get a new pet during this time. Um, Also, you may just be really reevaluating your health. Um, this is a big, whenever the sun is in the sixth house, it's really shines a spotlight on your health. And so if you have been, really contemplating, wanting to get healthy, wanting to change your diet, wanting to change your routines, this would now be the time to do it, especially with Mercury retrograde, because Mercury retrograde has us, rethinking, reviewing things that we're doing. And so, if you are somebody who you have a poor diet, or you don't really exercise or move around, this would be a time for you to really get into exercising, to really eating better, really start taking better care of yourself. If you don't go to the doctor a lot, this would be a good time for you to go and get an annual checkup if you haven't had one for this year. Go and get an annual checkup, get everything, checked out, see, where you are health wise, so that you can start making changes more moving forward to be healthier. All right. All right. So now, if you have Leo in the seventh house is the house of relationships and partnerships. It's also the house of marriage, but not just marriage, it's business partnerships, contractual agreements, negotiations, really close friendships, all your one-on-one connections. Okay. And so having the sun here, this is going to shine a spotlight on your shine a spotlight on your all of your relationships. Okay. And so if you have some business partnerships that you are wanting to get into, or you are currently in some business partnerships and they're not quite working out the way you want them to, especially having Mercury retrograde, you're going to be, rethinking all of that and revising all of that and figuring out, okay, do I want to continue on with these relationships? This is also would be a good time to look into business partnerships. If you are an entrepreneur and you are wanting to start getting brand deals and things, now would be a time to start thinking about, okay, what type of brand deals is it that I want to do? What do I want to get into? And so forth and so forth. Also, if you are in a relationship, you may be, revising your, reviewing your relationship and saying, okay, is this somebody that I want to spend the rest of my life with? If the relationship is in a good place, you guys may be really thinking about taking it to the next level and getting married. If you are married and it's really not in a good place, you may be thinking about, I don't want to do this anymore, and maybe moving towards getting a divorce. Okay. All right, so moving on to the eighth house. Eighth house is the house of death, rebirth, and transformation. Death does not have to be literal. Okay, it is also trauma, fear, psychological issues. Eighth house is one of the healing houses, as is in the fourth house and the 12th house. And so this is a house where, you know, this house really is a house where you go to heal your hurt, heal your trauma, and to really help you to move forward. When I first started using astrology, when I first got into astrology and I started using it to help me when I was, after I got divorced, the eighth house energy really helped me. I'm a Pisces eighth house. And tapping into that Pisces energy, I became very spiritual, and and music really helped me to really understand and transcend my emotions, how I was feeling. And so with Leo being here, you're really going to really be thinking about, you know, your all of the trauma that you've been with. And this really is a time, because Leo is such a, it's a very light, and I won't say light energy, it's a very happy energy. This would be a time to where, you will be severing, like really severing, and really, um, deciding that I don't want to be sad anymore. Like, I'm ready to be happy. I'm ready to move on. Now, depending upon where you are in your divorce journey, nothing happens overnight. But if you have been divorced for quite some time, and kind of have been holding on and kind of angry and pissed off and just really having a hard time with letting go, um, this Leo season is going to be really good for you, because you are going to, it's going to be a time of release, especially with the new moon that we have on the 24th. And I am going to do a video on the Leo new moon and using this Leo new moon energy to really release, and let go and start a new, have a new beginning. How to use the energy to really have tap into your happiness and have a new beginning. Okay. Um, but this is also a time to where, if you're in a relationship, then you are going to, your partner's resources is going to be highlighted. You're going to be looking at your debt, your taxes, um, your insurance, your inheritance, your investments. All of these things are going to be highlighted for you, um, you know, within the eighth house. Okay. Now, ninth house is the house of your beliefs, your perspective on life, foreign travel, long distance travel, higher education. So you may decide that you want to go, back to school. You may start looking into schools. You may start looking into, what can I do to boost my education, to boost. You also may be looking into like um, your beliefs. This would be a time where you may start questioning your beliefs. And, if there's things that you have believed since you were a child, you may start looking and saying, this no longer serves me. It's no longer helping me. I'm going to release these beliefs. I'm going to adopt some new beliefs. This also could be a time where you are traveling. If you are traveling, do be, careful with that. I won't say careful like something bad's going to happen, but you just want to be more aware, because there can be like mix ups and things happen with Mercury being retrograde. So you always want to be mindful of that. Especially like if you're, air travel, then you're going to want to, fly, get to the airport rather quickly, like early. Don't, be booking it the last minute, because you could miss your flight, and things of that nature. So you always want to give yourself ample time if you are traveling. But this could be a time where you really just focus in on, your beliefs. You may decide to go back, like I said, to go back to school, and decide that, especially with it being August, August right around the corner, that's when school starts. And so people go back to school and, all of that. So this may be a time where you decide, you know what, I'm going to go back to school. All right. So moving on to the 10th house. 10th house is the house of career. It's your goals, your aspirations. It's also your public reputation, your legacy, your leadership. Um, it's the government. And we have a lot going on here in the States with the government. But with Leo being here in the 10th house, this is your public persona. This is how people see you, how they perceive you. Okay. And so, how you show up in the world, how people perceive you really could be changing. You could, especially if you are somebody who, you have social media, or you want to get into social media, you want to start a YouTube channel, or, some type of social media profile. Then you are going to, this would be a time now where you are really thinking about how is it that you want to show up online. If you currently have a social media profile, then you're going to you will be taking this time to say, do I want to continue showing up the way I've been showing up, or do I want to show up differently? With the sun being in Leo, the one thing that it is really highlighting is authenticity. Okay, is you showing up as your authentic self, not putting on a show just for likes, but actually showing up and letting people see who you are, um, see you for who you actually are. Okay. This also could have you could make some changes within your career. You might decide that you want to go for that, management position. You've probably been thinking about it, and now you're just like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put in for it. It also, how you relate with your management, if you are, working a job or career, how relate that. You're also going to be really thinking about your legacy, because the 10th house is the house of legacy. And what legacy are you wanting to leave after you die? It doesn't have to be, like, you don't have to be famous or nothing like I want to be famous. Although if you do want to be famous, this would be a good time for, to put yourself out there. But this is more so, what type of legacy do you want to leave for your your family? Like, what do you want to be known for after you are no longer here? With having Mercury here is really going to help you to start thinking about and really uh, honing in on your legacy and what you want to be known for. Okay. 11th house is the house of friends, social networks, people you surround yourself with by choice, clubs, organizations, social support, social recognition. This here also has to do with social media as well. This is the house of also hopes and wishes. And, you probably are going to be rethinking your friend groups. If you had a lot of friends that, they were just your friends because you were married and now you're no longer married. So you may not have anything really in common anymore. You may be, really thinking about, okay, they nice people, but we really don't have anything in common. So you may decide that, you don't want to be friends with them anymore. And so you kind of just, sever that friend group, and then you will get find friends of your own that, people that resonate with you more, that you resonate with more. You also may be, to find these new friend groups, you may be, you know, finding some new clubs that, social clubs that and organizations that you can be around, people who are more relatable to you and how you are. Um, this is also, it shines a spotlight on, your social media as well. So again, if you are in, somebody who's in social media currently, um, you know, you may get a boost to your social media, and all of a sudden, you may have been really just trudging along, and then all of a sudden you have a video that goes viral, and it takes off, and then you get all these followers and subscribers and things like that. um, and so you are going to really be just really revamping and rethinking your social sphere. Okay. And then the last, but not least, is the 12th house. 12th house is the house of ending, self sabotage, things that are kept hidden, the unconscious, hospitals, prisons, spiritual retreats. With Leo being here, you may decide to go on a spiritual retreat. You may also, this is, you may really start getting more into the spiritual side of yourself, really tapping into, like if you have started getting more into your spiritual self, especially with Mercury being here, Mercury retrograde, um, you're going to really start rethinking, you know, how you connect with yourself spiritually, tapping into your higher self. Um, you you may also start looking into how if you are somebody who self sabotages, you've probably gotten to a point to where you're like, what, I'm tired of self sabotaging myself. And so you're going to look into that, and you're going to start making some changes to that. You're not going to want to self sabotage anymore. You are going to want to no longer be afraid to do things, and you're just gonna go for the gusto and just like, to hell with it, I'm gonna do it. And if it works out, great. And if it doesn't, it's not that it wasn't for you. It just, maybe you have to go through some more things in order for it to work out for you. Okay. um and so but you're really going to be tapping into your subconscious, looking at subconscious things that beliefs, because this kind of coincides with the ninth house, as far as beliefs and tapping into things that, because a lot of self-sabotage is really just um, unconscious beliefs and things that we have, constantly believed over and over and over again. Um, and we've allowed it to keep us stuck. And so you may be surrendering to, I don't want to do this anymore and I'm going to make some changes. Um, and so, that's the 12th house. So, all in all, this Leo transit is going to be a really, really good transit because it is going to, it's a very happy energy. I love Leo energy. I'm Leo rising. I love Leo energy because it is so bright and it is ruled by the sun. And it's an if you tap into the good parts of, you know the the more evolved and positive parts of Leo energy, it really helps you to shine. It helps you to shine because the sun just shines. It doesn't ask for permission. It just shines and it's just bright. And so this is a time for you to not dim your light, to let your light shine, and whoever can't handle your light, then they'll leave, they'll move away, but you continue to shine your light. And as you continue to shine your light, once we get into Virgo season, then that's when the light that you've been shining, now you continue to shine that light, but you start to refine your light. Okay. Um, and so that's what I have for you. And so I hope you found value in this. If you did, please do leave me a comment. Let me know if you found any value. Now, if you are new to astrology or if you would like to go more in depth, you can. I have a free ebook. It's the natal healing method, and you can grab that. And it goes over the first three steps of the natal healing method and how you can use your astrological natal chart to help you to rebuild and recalibrate yourself and your life after divorce. And so you can grab it. I'll put the link in the description of this live, or you can go on the channel homepage and grab it. All right. And so I will see you on the next video. And remember, if you can see it in your mind, then you can hold it in your hand, and that should make you smile because you truly are the one that creates your own reality. All right. Have a good Leo season, everyone.